Hello everybody, welcome back to Mad About Cards and Crafts. Today we're throwing it back and playing with gelatos. Back in the day when I first started scrapbooking, mixed media was huge and gelatos were the item to have. And I have not pulled these out in a very long time, and so I thought that I would play around with them. Now, I'm going to preface this video by saying I used watercolor paper, B watercolor paper, and I think I might try it on a smoother surface just because the bumps and ridges did show. So that first one, I took several colors, bubblegum and grape and blueberry and cotton candy, and I mixed them together, and I mixed it with water, and then I let it dry. Then I went in and tried to draw circles on the paper, and the gelatos weren't moving. I did get some other color to move around, but it didn't move like I wanted it to. And then so for this one, I thought that I would put them directly on my glass mat, and that is metallic mint, metallic blueberry, spearmint, and another green. I can't remember what the other green is. And so I swiped that. I'm drying off all of these panels, and you'll see the three that I have. There we go. And then I want to just go back on that last one and try to add some more color because I really liked the way that it was looking. So I added some more blueberry, and I added some more metallic mint and regular mint, and then I swiped it, and that was the finished piece. So I didn't really get a good look. You don't get a really good look at it, but at the end of the card you're going to be able to see the background. So now I have stamped out some Miss Ink Gardenia stamps, and then you'll see that I do have an MFT mermaid. I try to get as much onto my paper as I can, as many images as I can, so that when I use my scan and cut, I'll have that mermaid to use on another project. So I'm going in with 3 BG colors. I'm using BG11, BG13, and BG15, and I did stamp this with Gina K Amagam ink, and I'm not sure what the color is, so let me take a look here, pull them out, and I stamped them in Warm Glow. So that's Warm Glow, and then I'm going to start with my darkest color. I'll do most of the outlining with the BG13, which is the middle color, and then deep in the crevices towards the center of the flower, I will use more of that BG15. So one of my goals this year is to start using my products, and if I don't use it, then I need to start getting destashing some of what I'm not using. And so I thought that I would pull these gelatos out and play, and I will eventually make 3 cards. This is just the first card, and then I'll take those other 2 backgrounds that I've already created, and I will make 2 more cards with that. And like I said, I think I'm going to go in with some smoother paper. I think I might try some Bristol Smooth with the gelatos, just because I got so much texture. And I don't think that the final picture of this card really shows how beautiful the background is, because I actually think that this background is stunning. I was super happy with it, and I thought that coloring up these flowers in those teal colors, those blue-green colors, would really accent the panel. So So I'm just doing a little bit of shading, and I had colored 2 images previously. One of them, as I was coloring it, I was coloring the leaves. It had leaves attached to it, and I've been really conscious of pulling both ends of my caps out because I don't know if it's going back and forth in altitudes or what it is, but I do get those blobs from too much ink, and so that happened to one of the flowers, and I just decided to go ahead and stamp a few more out, and then I would share the coloring since I did decide to use these on this card. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start coloring the leaves, I believe, and those leaves are going to be colored in YG7, YG5, and YG3. So I'll start with my darkest color. I'll do the outlining of the leaf with my mid-grain color, and then I'm going to come in with the lighter color, which is the YG3, and blend it out, and then I will go back in and go over it again with some of those darker colors just to get a little bit more depth. I am not a great Copic colorer. I have, I dabble in it and I like to play, but I am by no means an expert. So, I just go with what I think looks good, and that's typically with leaves, starting at the bottom with the darkest shades and working my way up. Sometimes I'll bring a little bit of the dark, the mid-grain, coming from the top. Where I really struggle is the undersides of the leaves and the flowers. I think that I just need to work at it a little bit more, but it is what it is, and I enjoy playing with them, and eventually the more I play with them, the better I'll get. I did do the insides with our YR15, that's that orange color, and then I brought in Y6 and Y4 and kind of blended that out. Now I believe I'm just going to darken some of those lines up, and I'm going to add a little bit more depth to this flower. This is the one that I had colored off screen, and then I'll show you that second one. And I'm going to use the one where I get the green blob on it. I'm just going to tuck it under that bigger one. So I'm doing a little bit of flicking to get that dimension and to add that depth, and then I will come back in, and I think I share it on the video, but I come back in with a neutral 3 and N3. See that green blob right there? I was so sad when that happened. So I come in with a neutral afterwards, and I darken it up, and that gives it some really nice shadows. And I really like how it looks when I add that neutral. So those I cut off of that smaller flower thinking that I was going to use them. And then, as what happens to many crafters, you get working and your desk becomes a big mess and you can't find them. So I didn't end up using those in the final project because I couldn't find them anywhere. All right, so now I'm going to assemble the card, and you can see how much darker those leaves are and the flowers, and that's because I did add that gray in there. I cut the panel down to 4 by 5 1/4. My card base is Ninah Solar White 110 pound cardstock. It's a top folding card, and it's cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is a Papertrey ink pierced rectangle frame, and I did not add any dimension to this. I just laid everything, obviously there's layers, but I laid everything flat. I did not put any dimensional pieces. So I'm going to start with the big flower, and then I'll put that one with the blob, tuck it underneath. I did take one of the BG, the lightest BG marker, BG11, and went around the edges where my scan and cut left some white lines. I'm going to tuck in the flowers or the leaves, and then this one I just couldn't get it how I wanted it, and so I end up cutting it. I put that on that side, and then I'll come in and I'll cut the other one. I did cut a rosebud, or color a rosebud. Boy, I can't speak today. I did color a rosebud off screen, and I'm going to put that one at the top and then those two tiny leaves, and then I'm going to come in with the written in ribbon from the Greetery, so it will say happy birthday to you. And then I will take some gouache, some white gouache, and I use it on an old stamping block, a Tim Holtz stamping block that I have, and a number 8 brush, and I will splatter on some gouache onto that to give it some white splatters. And I get a little bit of it on the H for the birthday, where it says happy birthday, but I just go in with my pokey stick and I just kind of clean it up and make it so that the word's a little bit more legible. So that's my first card with my gelato backgrounds. Let me know if you've ever played with gelatos, what you think of gelatos. They're kind of like the Tim Holtz crayons in a sense, but I try to get some good pictures of this so you can see the metallic background, because it does have some metallic in the gelatos, and I just think it turned out really pretty. So let me know what you think. Do you like the gelatos? Don't like the gelatos? Love to hear from you. If you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe and like, and please comment. I love to interact with you. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.